So it seems that the lightweight division is currently gridlocked, or maybe the UFC is just waiting for the outcome of the Qatar card between Arman Tsarukyan and Dan Hooker. And if Dan Hooker wins that one, I just don't see the UFC giving Dan Hooker an immediate title shot. If Arman wins it, they might, but you know Dana's still pissed off with Arman for fucking up his last opportunity with the Makhachev title shot. No. It's going to probably be Paddy or Gaethje, which don't really make a lot of sense either, because Paddy, he does not deserve a title shot in any form. He doesn't. You look at his UFC run. Michael Chandler, Bobby Green, Tony Ferguson, those were his last 3 fights. You could not come up with a more unimpressive path to the top 5 than those 3 guys. You can't. You beat up a 40-year-old Michael Chandler. You submit Bobby Green. That submission was impressive, but Bobby Green, low IQ fighter, decides to go for a takedown, and Paddy gets the submission. And then you can't even finish a washed-up Tony Ferguson? And then you rob Jared Gordon. The Jordan Levitt fight, Kazula Vargas, those were good performances. Luigi Vendramini, his UFC debut, Luigi rocks him. I remember that fight. I remember making fun of this English peasant with his fucked up bowl cut and watching Luigi Vendramini rock him with, I believe, a big left hook. And Paddy was on some Bambi legs, wobbling all around. He still, gets the job done. The Scousers don't get knocked out, lad. But still, if you think of other guys at lightweight, Moicano, Dariush, Holloway, Hooker, Tsarukyan, and even some guys down in the bottom like Ribovich, Grant Dawson, BSD. I'm not saying all of these guys would beat Paddy, but I'm saying probably an overwhelming majority of them would. They're not old men. They're tough, they're young, they're hungry. These are guys that I think Hooker and Holloway pick apart Paddy Pimblett with the striking, without a doubt. Tsarukyan has better grappling than Paddy. Who else did I mention? Ribovich. Ribovich is a power puncher. Ribovich probably could knock out Paddy Pimblett, but that's a close fight. We don't know Ribovich's ceiling. The point that I'm trying to make is that the UFC wanted Paddy to be in the top 5. And when he beat Michael Chandler, he was like ranked 10. And now if you look at the rankings, he's ranked 6. So this fight that happened in April, he's done nothing since then, and he went from 10 to 6. He always gets bumped up one, just for doing nothing. The other guys, they get, lower down the rankings, and Paddy just keeps climbing up. And they're probably wanting to aim for a title shot because of that. There's history with Ilia and Paddy. They don't like each other. The fight would sell. But I don't want Ilia to knock out Paddy in a brutal fashion just so that Paddy can continue fighting at lightweight and lose every single fight from then on out. I could see that happening. Let's say Paddy loses to Ilia. He gets the title shot. He loses to Ilia. And then the next 3 fights that he has are with some real killers in the division because he's got nowhere else to run. He hasn't faced anybody worthy in the rankings to get to that point. He would lose all of his fights. So he would probably face up against a Max Holloway or someone rising through the rankings, maybe like a BSD, and he gets destroyed. And he's on a big losing streak because that's going to be a win that ages so poorly for Ilia. You know what I mean? So this is my nightmare scenario if he gets the title shot. Please do not give it to him. What about Justin Gaethje, though? A lot of people are dismissing Justin Gaethje. I'm not one of those people. Well, first off, does Justin Gaethje deserve a title shot? I don't think so either, but there's really not a definitive winner for who should get the title shot until we see the outcome of the Qatar card. You beat Rafael Fiziev in a rematch. Okay, whoop-de-doo. You get knocked out by Holloway in the last second of the last round. It was a great knockout, but I'm not going to hold that against Gaethje. It was the spinning back kick that fucked up his nose early on in the fight, which dictated that fight from then on out. Also, Justin Gaethje, he's 36. He's about to be 37. 2 weeks from now, he's going to turn 37. So he's approaching the tail end of his career. If he gets a title shot, it's going to be his last one for sure. He's gotten a lot of title shots before. I would say, like a month ago, you could have announced this fight and there would have been howling and hollering in the MMA community, dismissing Justin, saying he doesn't deserve it. But you could have booked it for late December or January. Not late December because that's holidays. But you could have booked it for like the first card in January for the Paramount deal. And I think people would have stomached it. I'm not going to dismiss Gaethje just because he gets knocked out in the last second by Holloway either. Gaethje has good uppercuts. Who's knocked down a lot of short guys with. Did it to Fiziev in both of the fights. Did it to Michael Chandler. These are guys that are Ilia's height and his size. He's a big power puncher too, man. Like, I'm not going to say that Justin Gaethje gets destroyed and knocked out cold in the first round by Ilia. Because there's a lot of people saying that. That's the consensus. Like, Gaethje's just some bum, some sacrificial lamb for Ilia to fill his padded up record. No. I think Gaethje's got a shot. I still think he lose. Like, if I had to pick, I'm still going to pick Ilia. But maybe like in round 3 or round 4, not round 1. Come on, man. Not round 1. Gaethje does have a chin. I don't care. He does have a chin. A decent chin. Not the best chin, but a decent chin. And Ilia has been hit before. Ilia got hit by the head kick, which Justin Gaethje likes to do head kicks from time to time. He knocked out DP with it. And he got hit by Bryce Mitchell. He took a big shot from Bryce Mitchell, but he ate it. Could he eat a big shot from Justin Gaethje? Maybe. Maybe not. Justin hits harder than Bryce Mitchell. A lot harder. I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind if this fight was booked. If I had to choose between Paddy and Justin, give it to Justin. Okay. Now, Arman and Dan Hooker, we got to wait and see. I think Dan Hooker would get destroyed by Ilia. Somebody that gets knocked out by Arnold Allen and Michael Chandler doesn't signify to me as somebody that can hold up against Ilia's power. Arman, though, we have to admit, Arman is the biggest challenge right now for Ilia just because of the grappling aspect. Just because of that and that alone. But remember, he's 5'7", same height as Ilia, so there's not going to be a big size advantage. And also, he's young. But we have to wait and see. If he dispatches Dan Hooker very fast without taking a lot of damage, then you know the UFC is probably going to do that fight, even though they're still pissed off at him. So, we just got to wait and see. But I want to see some movement in this fucking division, man. Ilia, he's 28. He's still young. We got to make sure that this guy doesn't retire super early. We need the big fights that are still yet to be made. We have to wait and see for UFC 322 as well. See what Islam's going to do. If he wants to move back down. But yeah. That's all I got for this video. Peace out. Subscribe to my channel, motherfuckers. We got Garcia versus Onama tomorrow. Shit card. Fucking shit card. That's what that is.